Good evening, everybody. My name is Raghav Sampangi. My pronouns are he, him. And I thought we'd begin just a tiny little bit differently. Okay. So, sea shanties, yes? Those were like a big trend. Okay, I'll post the lyrics. Sing along if you like. We're almost done with this online term. Where did time go? What have I learned? An assignment's due tonight at 10. Can we get an extension, please? Soon may the summer break come to bring us some more sleep. I'm done. One day when the studying is done, we'll take our leave and go. There. Okay. Welcome to Snowball. Thank you to the CS Society for inviting me to chat with you folks. This is super. And it also turns out that a lot of the themes that I'll be chatting about would be some of the things that Rita and Srini spoke about a little while ago. So welcome to a chat, a discussion on human-centric approaches to, well, teaching, learning, and living. Okay. So one of the things that we're working on now is actually focusing on the aspect of a learning experience. What is a learning experience? What are the attributes of a learning experience? You can think about the learning experience as being composed of, first, the people, you and I, right? Teachers, students, teaching assistants, group of students, group of teachers, or the teaching team, etc. And every one of the individuals who are involved in this teaching and learning experience will bring with them their own needs, their own motivations, their own concerns, their own workload issues, their own values, their own learning preferences, and their own ways of interacting with a given situation. So we started to look at a learning experience as something that is beyond a learning event or a collection of assessments or a collection of assessments plus evaluation and feedback, or that plus the technology that we use and the physical space that we are in, whenever we are in person, I suppose. But ultimately, it becomes about the people that are involved, right? It is about the learners and the teachers. So that's where we are right now. We are focusing on understanding what it means for somebody to have a good learning experience, for somebody to deliver a good learning experience, and so on. That's where we are. Why is this important? Rita was just talking about it a little while ago. People bring with them so many diverse and evolving experiences, their own struggles with mental health, with physical health, the stigma that is around mental and physical health, and the help that they can receive for such mental and physical health and illnesses, various cultural backgrounds, which may sometimes add to the stigma. So the people are bringing in those experiences. People are coming in with their own values to the context of a classroom, to the context of a research lab, to the context of a big university. So what I wanted to chat with you about was, let's go beyond looking at people as resources and data points. Of course, people can serve as resources and data points in different contexts, but we've got to start looking at people for, well, what they are and what they bring to the table. Because remember, learning, an act of saying, I don't know this, I want to learn, that is a courageous act. Why is that a courageous act? Because it involves a certain feeling of uncertainty, it involves a certain feeling of risk, it involves a certain feeling of emotional exposure, just like what I'm feeling right now. And that makes me a little vulnerable. And in our cultures, vulnerability is always treated as being synonymous to weakness, but it's not. If you look at vulnerability and its definition, as Dr. Brené Brown has pointed out in her work, you can look at that as like just a big continuum from between weakness and courage and vulnerability being right in the center, because the same three feelings, the same three emotions of uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure can be felt in every single one of those things. So if you're feeling vulnerable, lean into those feelings and do the work that you plan to. that leads you to courage because that makes you more resilient. Otherwise, it could lead to something like a weakness because it could make you less resilient. Remember also, in your work as learners and teachers, asking for help is courageous. I had to ask for help from a colleague a week ago, and I'm still learning how to ask for help. It was a big step for me. I did ask for help because I trusted this person, and it was great. While it made me feel incredibly nervous when I was asking for help, after I asked for help, it was really good because the help helped. So if you're feeling that you need help, ask for help, regardless of what the situation is. Again, remember, learning is courageous, and being authentic in a world that expects you to conform, being yourself in a world that expects you to conform, that is an act of courage. Because ultimately, how can you go about doing all of that? You can develop what is known as a growth mindset. What is a growth mindset? You start asking why. You start asking why not. You start asking at you start looking at situations where you feel that you don't know something as an opportunity where you can add that magical 3-letter word yet. I don't know yet, which means that I can always work towards knowing it in the future. Remember that. That's a growth mindset. And let that help you and guide you in your choices and in your pursuit of excellence. Why is that important? Because as you start developing a growth mindset and as you start identifying values that are close to you, as Srini was talking about a little while ago, that will help you find your purpose, your core purpose, your just cause that you can contribute to with every single thing you do. That becomes your vision for life. And that helps you play what's known as the infinite game. What is the infinite game? The infinite game is something in which the goal of the game is to not win, but the goal of the game is to keep playing. So if new players join the game, you alter the rules of the game and you continue playing. This goes back to what Rita was talking about a little while ago. You have to start thinking about the cultural aspects before designing a product, before designing a solution to a problem. Alter the rules of the game, and then you can continue to keep playing. Because remember, we are all critical thinkers. We are all problem solvers. We are all solution designers in our own way. There are so many problems in the world today that needs us to work together to develop, design and develop solutions. We have global warming, we have poverty, we have hunger. There's so many things that may be served by technological and educational solutions. We can do this. We'll have to work together. The infinite nature of an infinite game also makes us inherently collaborative. It's not competitive. Nothing wrong with competition. But inherently being collaborative is super, super important and helpful because we all have to work together. And as you develop solutions to whatever problem you look to solve or you help to solve, just consider the human in the loop, and any solution that you develop will have a positive impact for everyone in the global community. I just want to end by saying, remember to stay inspired, play the infinite game, and I hope you take care of your well-being as you do so. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. May the force be with you.